Hi, my name's Helen. Welcome to my Stories from the Art Room. This is part 5, where we have a closer look at what motivated the men in the last horrifying days of Queen Clytemnestra's life. On Agamemnon's return from the Trojan War, he wishes to be reinstated as her husband and remain king. Clytemnestra refuses. He refuses to leave. So Clytemnestra receives her former husband and offers him a feast. She orders a purple carpet to be laid on the floor leading to an annex, a bathhouse, where servants begin to fill a silver-sided bath with hot water. When Agamemnon has settled in the bath, the queen comes back carrying a blanket of cloth net and beneath it a double-sided axe and an apple. Her third husband, Aegisthus, accompanies her holding a sword. They enter the bathhouse, then death-dealing noises ensue, drowning out the vaguer sounds of splashing water. Agamemnon is said to have died neither in the palace nor out, 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on dry land, the apple at his lips. So neither feasting nor fasting, neither clothed or unclothed, indeed like a sacred king hanging between heaven and earth. One can almost hear Clytemnestra's counsel for the defence addressing the court to ask, was her killing of Agamemnon a murder, or was it a religious act, a religious sacrifice of a sacred king? Now, the theory of a prehistoric matriarchy was first formulated by J.J. Bakoven, who published Das Mutterrecht, the Law of Mothers, in 1891. This influenced, amongst others, Friedrich Engels, yes, him, the communist collaborator of Karl Marx. And as a result of this influence, Engels published The Origin of the Family, Private Property and the State in 1884. Bakoven was a Swiss jurist, historian, and a professor of Roman law at Bough. He'd researched ancient Greco-Roman cultural symbols, and his big piece of evidence to support the overthrow of matriarchal society is the Greek tragedy called the Orestes by Aeschylus. Orestes is the son of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra. He is encouraged by the god Apollo to avenge his father by killing his mother. After the assassination of Queen Clytemnestra, her youngest daughter, Thames, which means golden order, flees from her murderous brother to live in exile and dies in poverty. This might have been a bid by Orestes to gain title to his mother's palace and land, but it remains with the new sacred king, Aegisthus. So Orestes murders him. Orestes is put on trial. Apollo defends, and the Erinyes are the prosecution. The Erinyes are the furies of the full moon phase of the mother goddess Demeter. Sometimes they appeared as the nightmares with black horse heads with snakes for hair. They punish infringements against matriarchal law. Under matriarchy, Orestes has committed the most heinous and inexplicable of crimes, which is matricide. Athena is called upon to arbitrate. Unfortunately, although Athena is a goddess of great antiquity, her lineage has been realigned by her rebirth through Zeus's head after he'd swallowed her pregnant mother, Metis. Athena is associated with her ancient Epiphany, a wise owl, but also Medusa, the death goddess, who has also been vanquished by Zeus. Medusa's snake mask is now on the aegis, the animal skin that Athena wears on her breast. With her alliance to Zeus, Athena finds for Orestes. Engels says that it is significant that the Erinyes had nothing against Clytemnestra. Unrelated by blood was she to the man that she slew. If Bakovin is correct, and the Orestia by Aeschylus depicts a transition from motherite to fatherite, then the upheaval and anguish to human relationships at that time must have been horrendous. And are the ramifications still being worked through today? For example, in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, the Bennet sisters cannot inherit from their father. His estate is entailed away to his nearest male relation, Mr. Collins. The reason for such entailments goes back to the time of Henry VIII. And in those times, a man could make his fortune by abducting and raping an heiress, who then, having lost her virginity, would be obliged to marry her rapist. To add insult to injury, Henry put a tax on such practices, which then led to girls not being able to inherit as their families sought to protect their property by entailment to males. Nowadays, women have overcome that problem, but another disturbing thought occurs to me. Is there a flip side occurring now to that horrible sacrificial struggle that took place 3,000 years ago for the emergence of the male ego in the face of an ancient moon goddess religion? One wonders if what happened to those sacred kings as they strove for liberation is now being mirrored in women when you consider the numerous depictions, particularly in detective dramas, let alone in real life, of women being abducted, sexually tortured, and murdered. Is this some sort of female blood sacrifice in the face of predominantly male religions, as likewise women seek to liberate their ego consciousness from reabsorption into the bodily material? Please post your thoughts below. And so goodbye for now, until next time, when I have a comedy for you.